What's going on, boys and girls? We're going to do another one of our cauliflower crust pizzas. I like pizza. I just can't deal with the crust sometimes because as I gotten older, I can't deal with the bread. So this is a low-calorie cauliflower crust pizza crust. We're going to do it a little bit differently than I did it in one of my previous videos, but I think you'll like it. All right, these are our ingredients here. Of course, we got the cauliflower rice. I just buy this in the store. It already comes shredded up and grated. You can get 2 heads of cauliflower if you want to and grate them up yourself. We got some mozzarella cheese and some Parmesan cheese. You can use 2 eggs in this. I'm going to use some egg stirs. Got some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. You can use any type of seasoning that you like. You can add whatever you want to. As far as spices are concerned, we're going to have a little bit of Philadelphia cream cheese as well. And you know, this right here I didn't use in the last recipe, and we're going to add some coconut flour to it as well. Even though the cauliflower crust came out pretty good, I think this will bind a little bit better, and it'll make it a lot tougher crust. So first what we're going to do is going to put a pan on kind of like a medium low. You don't want it to be hot. And we're going to add our cauliflower to that because it does have a little bit of moisture in it. So we want to add that to it. All right. I mean, you're not trying to cook it or anything. And you may have to do this in 2 batches, but because again, this is about 4 cups of cauliflower. Okay, and our goal is just to get what little moisture is still left in this cauliflower. Cauliflower contains a lot of moisture. Now I put all of the 2 bags of cauliflower in there. We're not trying to cook it or anything. We're just trying to move it around and get some of the moisture off of it. Okay, we've got 1 cup of Parmesan cheese in there. We're going to add another cup of mozzarella cheese. Alrighty, we added 2 heaping tablespoons of the Philadelphia cream cheese. Now, mine just happens to be the kind with jalapeno. You can use the kind with chives. You can use regular Philadelphia cream cheese. Now, again, this is all an experiment, guys. This may come up messed up. Now, we're going to put 1/3 of a cup of our egg mixture in here. 1/3 of a cup is equivalent to 2 eggs. Okay, and we're going to use about 1/2 cup of our coconut flour. Now we're going to see how this is going to come out because it might be kind of dry. And you can do all this while you're letting this, you know, get all the moisture out of your cauliflower. Again, you don't want it to cook. You just kind of want it to steam a little bit. I actually had to raise the heat up a little bit because it wasn't doing anything. So, and we'll go back to our mixture here. All right, we're going to add us a tad bit of Tony Chachere's here, guys. Now, again, seasoning is just pretty much your taste. That looks like a lot, but I really didn't put a lot in there. It's going to really make the taste kind of real smooth with a little bit of a kick. Now, here comes the hard part, is trying to mix all this together here. Again, we don't have a lot of moisture in there, but we got those eggs in there, so I'll come back once I get it nice and mixed. All right, you basically have to chop that cream cheese in there. It's actually I think it's gonna have more of a texture to it this time here. So, I mean, it doesn't look too super dry. If you do have to add a little bit, you can add a little bit more of that egg mixture. Again, 2 of those eggs in that egg stir is only equivalent to about 60 calories, if that much. Alrighty, coming back over to the cauliflower. When it starts to change color like that and you start to see the steam coming off of it, you can go ahead and turn it off, let this cool, and then we'll add it to our cheese mixture. Alrighty, and you just want it to be cool to hand touch, and I've touched it and it's pretty cool, so we're going to add it to our cheese mixture. Now we're going to see how well this stuff mixes. because it's gotta kind of bind together somewhat, you know. Like I said, I may have to add a little bit more egg, or if it's too dry, I may have to add some milk or something to it, because we want it to at least be sticky. And it don't seem like it's sticky so far. All right, I thought about adding some buttermilk to this at first, but buttermilk would increase the carb count, and I know some people are not trying to have all those carbs. But you know, the longer I let it sit there, it kind of does stick to itself somewhat. See that? So it might be fine. I was going to add some olive oil to it, or some avocado oil. But the more I let it stick, the more moisture it seems to be getting. So we might just kind of stick with what we got. Nah, we're gonna add a little bit of avocado oil, just a little bit. A couple of tablespoonfuls. And again, I'm not pouring a lot in there. Now, and that might make it so it doesn't stick so much to the parchment paper. All right, we're going to see how it goes on the parchment paper here, because it's got a lot of moisture to it now, so that's cool. Alright, I got my parchment paper down, and I know you're not supposed to put nothing on parchment paper, but I'm going to spray it, because every time I make this, it ends up sticking to the parchment paper, and when I spray it, it does. So that's not from any kind of chef school, that's just from experience, so we're going to see. Okay, now we're going to add our mixture here, and again, it just looks like a crumbly mess here, so you're going to have to shape this. I might have way too much. It's going to be a huge pizza, guys. Yeah, I might have way too much here. But it'll be a thick crust pizza instead of a thin crust pizza. Well, we'll be starting over and making two. Let's see. So we're going to mash it down. Yeah, that's going to be a real thing. And you know what? Now that I feel it with the oil in there, it actually feels really moist. Okay. And it's a lot bigger than the ones I've made in the past. Yeah, I think this is going to be perfect, guys. I really do. I think that oil in there, and it's actually evening out a lot easier too. Turn off, please turn off. Live. All right. So you just want to make sure this is even all the way around, and it really didn't take much of anything, guys. I think this is going to come out pretty good. I really do. It's going to be a thick crust cauliflower pizza, but once you put your toppings up there, that's going to make the whole deal. Now we're going to throw it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let's see. We're going to let that go a little bit longer, though. I want it to be a little bit more brown, so we're going to let it go another 10 minutes or so. But it looks good. All right, let's take another look at it after about 30 minutes. So that looks good. So we're going to take that out. And I like to flip it, guys, so we're going to see how this works. All right, this may actually be funny right here. This is what I do when I get ready to flip these things. Okay, I'll put a piece of parchment paper over it like this. I will come underneath it. Now this is still kind of hot. I'll come underneath it like this. I'll put this on top of it like this. Flip it like that. And this is still hot here. See, it didn't stick. Yay, it didn't stick. Now, we're gonna take that, ouch. Take that, pull it back over here to our pan. That works out perfectly, guys. That works out perfectly. And we're just gonna brown it a little bit more. It's done, it feels real good. So now we're gonna put it back in the oven. All right, let's look at it now. Oh yeah, woo. There we go. That's done right there. That's almost a little bit too done around there on that right side over there. We're going to take it out, and there we go with our cauliflower crust. We'll add our toppings to it, but that's the basics of doing a cauliflower crust for a pizza. Our finished product, we'll let it come to a rest and solidify a little bit more, but it looks good. And like I said, this should taste really, really good too, guys. Thanks for watching.